All right. Ready? Okay. Sega. Why are you like this? Okay, guys. Today we're talking about
the Sega Genesis.
You're supposed to sing it.
No.
Okay. Sega Genesis. These are our top 5 Sega Genesis. It's not like an end-all, be-all list. It's just like top 5, like ones you can easily find that'll entertain you.
Yeah.
They're good.
They're really good.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with these games. These are, so we're gonna start with the easy one though. Sonic 2.
That.
Excellent.
Yeah. There's not enough that can be said about that game.
It had 2-player, which
Yep.
split screen at the same time. You also had Tails following you around later on, which was always kind of entertaining, watching him like fall to his death, and then he just helicopters back to where you were. Yeah.
Watching Tails drown.
It's kind of like I think it was Tomb Raider 2 when you could lock the butler in the freezer. It's just like this, just to see like just how well you could murder your sidekick.
And then you have to trust him at the end to fly the plane while you're on it.
Yeah.
You've let him die so many times.
Yeah, I beat that game once with the little cheat code where you make Sonic like you make him like yellow and he flies.
That's blasphemy, sir.
Well, I mean, I was a little kid, but I beat it for real after a while. But
okay.
But that was an interesting way of playing the game. What?
Nothing.
What? What?
No, you cheated.
What?
You cheated.
What?
You cheated.
Ah, okay, whatever.
I winked with my off eye.
I winked with the other eye, didn't I? The wrong eye. Anyway, so that's an easy one, and plus you can get it for nothing.
Right.
I got a boxed copy of it for like $2 one time.
Yeah, I bought
like last year. So the next one is another great one, Shinobi 3.
I didn't play much of that.
It is excellent game. It's just one of those games that's just so well balanced and like pitch perfect, and it has a lot of memorization that helps you through the game. So you start off with just as Shinobi, and you can throw ninja stars. You have a power-up move. You have to learn the patterns of all the enemies and all the bosses. It's just that it's so rudimentary, but yet it just has some sort of like gloss over it that makes it just even better. And like Shinobi's like huge on screen too. He's like really tall, and it was just really cool to like for me to play a game with after you've played with that little plumber who's about that big to playing with this ninja who's like this big. It's great. And then you have like the horse riding segments where you have to actually ride a horse, and there's these ninjas on kites.
That makes a lot of sense.
I guess that's how ninjas prefer to travel. But there's ninjas on kites, and they fly down, and you have to like jump over them or shoot them, and then that gets later on replaced with a surfboard with rockets on it. He's not a very sneaky ninja, to say the least.
Did Kojima have anything to do with this?
Didn't have a thing to do with it.
Okay.
No, you have this little surfboard, and it replaces the whole scrolling level of the horseback riding with a surfboard. Excellent game.
Okay.
Check it out. A+ on that guy. So let's move on to the next one, which is more of your thing.
Yeah, Terminator 2, the arcade game.
I did have that game growing up. It's awesome.
It's excellent. I mean, it's excellent whether you have the Menacer or the controller.
Yeah, it's
I mean, I prefer to play with the Menacer after I got it.
See, I did have the Menacer growing up, but I was a nice host to like my friends that came by, and I would use the control pad, let them use the Menacer. That way. They want to stay at my house more often and hang out with me.
Well, since my mom didn't want to buy me the Menacer, and now that I have it in my 30s, I use the Menacer.
You earned it though. You lugged it around.
I lugged it around.
You lugged it around a convention like all day, and he's like, "Why did I do this? Why?"
I made poor choices.
James, is there room in your backpack? Can you put this 64 in here? We don't do anything half-assed, do we?
No, we don't.
Whole ass all the way. So, anyway, great shooter.
Yeah, excellent shooter.
I mean, almost arcade perfect.
I would say so.
I believe it's there. I believe it's all there.
I would say so.
It's fun.
The hardest part, though, is the part where you have to protect John Connor when he's in the truck. And I can't tell you how many times I stopped right there and shut it down and just walked away from it. Because it seemed virtually impossible.
That can be frustrating. It helps with 2.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you use 2 Menacers at the same time?
That I don't know.
I don't think you can.
Because you do have that sensor bar you have to put at the top of at the top of the TV and calibrate it though. I don't know if you can calibrate 2 Menacers at the same time. That's a good question.
That was an excellent arcade game and a really good port, though.
Yeah, excellent.
Don't think it was on Super, was it?
I don't think so.
And don't get it confused with the other T2 game.
Which is absolutely horrible.
It is. It's like a side-scrolling shooter. Like, yeah, just it's the easy, it's the easy pump out, movie tie-in.
Right.
Where it's just, you walk from the right to the left and you shoot everybody in between.
Yeah, it wasn't any
Not.
good.
So be careful that you want to get T2 the arcade game and not Terminator 2 the game.
Yeah. And I mean, I believe the covers are very different too.
Are they? I thought they were kind of the same. I thought they looked kind of the same.
No, because there's one variant cover where the endoskeleton is standing at the arcade cabinet.
That's on the back of it. Because I actually had the box. I remember that. But I think the front is just
the endoskeleton's face, I believe.
Just get the one that says arcade game.
Yeah. Make sure it says arcade.
And it'll say like Sega Minister required. So.
And look for the endoskeleton because he's on there somewhere.
And it will not work on an LCD TV.
No.
Or a modern TV at all. OLED, LED, LCD, plasma, none of that. You have to have a CRT. So don't throw those away yet. So that brings us to the number 2. Oh, that was nice. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's Eternal Champions. Awesome.
Yeah, that is an excellent game. It's for those who don't know, it's a sleeper.
It is.
It's definitely a sleeper.
Well, it's only on Sega because Sega made it. Mm-hmm. They should have brought it back at some point, I think. You have different time periods of these different fighters. You have like the Atlantis guy. I remember Larson.
I loved Larson.
Love Larson. He has a grappling hook, and he's like a thief from the 1930s. Mm-hmm. And he's got the bowler hat, and he's.
I used to play with Midnight. Dr.
Midnight's good too.
He was the vampire.
Is that the one that? Oh, and he fought with Jeet Kune Do.
Mm-hmm.
They used the Bruce Lee Jeet Kune Do style,
right.
And we always thought that was a big thing right there because it came out shortly after like Dragon, the Bruce Lee story in the 90s when Bruce Lee's craze like hit everywhere, and boy, that was cool to actually see Jeet Kune Do represented in a game.
Did you ever take the game and turn it all the way up to where you were fighting at like high speed?
Oh, that's crazy.
It was nuts.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I mean, the matches ended within seconds. There's no need to have a clock on.
Yeah, I remember renting that one a lot. Like, I remember, I think it was such a well-known thing that my dad I could just call him and say, hey, just rent Eternal Champions. I don't, just get it on your way home. Okay, cool.
I made a lot of trade-ins at Funco Land for those who are old enough. That's how I got it. So
I think I rented it. I used to rent it at Kroger. Remember when Kroger had videotapes and
the little section they had off to the side?
And they had the little video game section. Those are crazy days.
Wow, that was.
Oh, I'm sure now you can just get it on like the Steam Mega Pack or something where there's got to be some sort of Sonic collection with Eternal Champions. They wouldn't leave that out.
I bet there is. I haven't seen it yet, but I bet it exists.
Yeah, but there's a difference though because playing it nowadays on those they never get. It's some sort of like transparency effect that is a byproduct of using a composite cable, the yellow video cable, that doesn't look right nowadays on other stuff. So like you play Sonic 2 on Steam and the waterfall doesn't look like you remember it. That's because there's the transparency effect from the composite cables. And it doesn't work.
So
it's really strange. So that brings us to our
number 1. Streets of Rage 2.
Streets of Rage 2. Awesome game.
They're
probably the best music on the system. It and like Musha.
To me, that is the best beat 'em up in existence.
It is. I mean, like, Ashley didn't play a lot of beat 'em ups. My wife, she didn't play a lot of beat 'em ups. And then I got that horrible games, built-in 30 games, and then also you can put the cartridges on the top. And I got it, and she enjoyed it so much she wanted to play it again, except for her controllers suck. Because the wireless controllers on that thing are terrible, and I sold it later on. I do not miss it. But she really liked it. Like as soon as she started playing it, she got it, and she was like, "This is fun. This is great." Like she plays as Blaze, and she just like, I'll just look over there and be like 8 guys around Blaze, and I'm like fighting this one guy, and I turn, and then I like look over at her side of the screen, and all of a sudden she's done this giant flip through the whole air, and guys just go flying, scattering like bugs, and that's why the game is good because it gives you that instant gratification of just wiping the floor with like 10 people at a time.
I mean, dude, I played as Axel all the time. I always picked Axel.
I don't even listen to video game music that often. I could listen to that.
I could too.
I could just have that going in the car, just like because it's just an excellent game. And the first one's not bad either.
No, it's not.
But
for
2
some
is
reason,
really when
2
they
just
nailed it.
Stood out.
Well, they replaced in the first one you hit A and it would like scroll all the way back to the first level, and there'd be a cop who like launches a rocket and it flies over. I know it's absolutely crazy, and they shoot him because cops had standard issue bazookas.
Yeah, I don't.
That's another thing about the '90s. We had videotapes you could rent at the grocery store, and cops had bazookas, and they would shoot them in the air at street gangs, and not hit you, but hit all the street gang members. It was a different time. The '90s were a different time.
Yeah,
they were a simpler.
We took some chances.
Yeah, in 2 though, they replaced the whole backup system with a powerful move. So if you're Axel, I think you hit it and and it just takes off a little bit of your life.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, which is really forgiving on life, actually.
It is. I mean, as long as you like break a lot of stuff too.
That's the perfect game when you have a buddy over and you just want to like just play a game where you just get to.
Me and you sat down and played.
Yeah, you just want to sit down, massacre people, with your fists. 3's good too, and it has a kangaroo as one of the playable characters. Wait a minute, let's go back to 2, because 2 has Axel, Blaze, the big guy, I can't remember his name, and a kid on skates.
Which makes no sense.
He's wearing rollerblades, and his name is Skate, in case you didn't get the fact that he was on roller skates. He's like 15 out there kicking people in the face with roller skates. That's awesome. Again, the 90s.
Super 90s.
Super 90s.
You can kick somebody in the face with rollerblades. You're just...
It's great. The third one had a boxing kangaroo in it. Let that sink in for a minute. A boxing kangaroo. I mean, the second one had a kid on skates.
We didn't see a boxing kangaroo again until Tekken.
Oh yeah, Tekken had one too. Well, they were first. Streets of Rage 3 was first. It's a little harder to find.
We just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, that's Tekken a harder one to find. I don't see Streets of Rage 3 often.
I don't either, and whenever I do, it's usually
kind of pricier.
Yeah.
It came out near the end of the Sega life cycle. But it had a boxing kangaroo. And then but back to 2, I mean, it has a kid on skates. He was like 15 years old out there fighting street gangs with roller skates on.
And if there's one thing I can say about Sega, they are the king of beat 'em ups.
Yeah, they made some great ones.
Yeah, they did.
There was really nothing that good, I think, on the Super Nintendo. There was Undercover Cops, but it never came out over here. It was a Japanese-only game. It looked like it was like a Streets of Rage copy-off. So at this point, Sega's rocking it so hard that Nintendo's having to rip them off.
Yeah.
That's insane. But like Final Fights on the Super Nintendo, it's 1 player. I think finally when you get to like Final Fight 3, you could play 2 player. But what's the fun in that? Sega CD had Final Fight and it was 2 players, Arcade Perfect from what I understand. So yeah, Streets of Rage 2, you cannot go wrong. Pick it up while it's cheap. Hit those Sega games up while they're cheap because now that everybody's kind of scooping up all the NES stuff, the Sega's been like this target, and then they're going up.
Yeah, they are.
It used to be really easy to collect for, and now...
But there are some games that are already going to be kind of high, especially the shooters you find on Sega.
Musha. It's like a $500 game.
Yes. Excellent game.
Whew. I believe it's been re-released on Virtual Console, so if you're okay with that, do that.
Yeah.
It's a lot better. Musha's expensive. Phantasy Stars are expensive. Mm-hmm. I tell you what, guys, if you do not care, you don't have memories of playing a Sega, grab the Sega collections on Steam. You get them when they go on sale. You're getting games at like 30 cents a piece.
Heck, if you want for the consoles, they sell the Sega collections.
They do. You can get if you have a PlayStation 3 or a 360, Sonic Mega Collection has most of these games. In fact, it has more games than the At Games Sega that I bought, the plug and play. It has more games than it for half the price, really. They were like $40 then.
And like you were saying,
and you can go and be like a used copy for like $10 of Sonic Mega Collection.
And like you were saying for Steam, I only paid like $6 or $7 for
yeah, and I just got I think I have like Volume 2 just because it had Streets of Rage, because back then I didn't have the system.
That's the one I bought.
Oh, okay, cool. I think we can play those together online.
Really?
I don't know.
We should try that.
We should talk about it on the show instead of in private where people aren't watching us.
Yeah. Oh,
awkward. So anyway, check out the Sega and start with those games. You will have a great time.
Can't go wrong.
Nope. Sega! I hate you.
Once again, you're on your own. Cheers.
Sip it, Stanley.